If you look at those accords with any sense as an American, they're grossly out of balance. America was supposed to, if I've got my numbers right, achieve a 30% reduction in emissions, in carbon emissions by 2025 or something like that. Well, India and China were not even going to make an effort until 2030. They had no obligations whatsoever. And I think if you look, I'll lay this down. Republicans are not anti-climate. If you look at the trend lines in America, we have an unbroken 45-year track record of improving air and water quality. It's not as though we're playing games with the climate for the sake of growing the economy. What we're trying to do right now under President Trump is rectify some of the crazy regulation that happened under Obama that is damaging, horribly damaging to economic growth.
I'm sorry, I just have to correct one very critical point, which is to say the Paris Accords were built on voluntary commitments by almost every single country in the world, except for Syria and Nicaragua.
Except China and India, who got nothing.
That's absolutely untrue. Barack Obama negotiated with China the largest and most aggressive plan to fight
starting in 2030.
Well, look, China is not in the same position as America. But to imply that America is somehow bound because China and India.
Well, we're not bound. We're not going to do it.
But Trump lied to the American people and implied that America had gotten a bad deal, whereas America negotiated its own commitments.
No, Obama got us a bad deal, just like he got us a bad trade deal, just like TPP was a bad deal.
Tell that to your grandkids when they're living underwater.
Well, there you go.
I'm sorry, but we cannot push this. This is the kind of agreement we need to have in order to have a stable international.
I'll be honest. It's not about Republicans or Democrats. It's about the quality of the deal for the American people. Let's get a better deal, and that's what I think Trump said.
Well, we're now on our own.
But one of the big problems is the American way of life. There is a figure that
and the French way of life.
Yeah,
and the British way of life.
The worst one, if you may say, for the rest of the planet is the American. It's 4% of the population.
And 25% of the consumption and emissions.
That eats 40% of resources.
Not 40%.
Yes, we are 6%, we eat 30%. It's too much. Plus, you have 60%, 50% of the military budget. With all your NATO allies, you have 75%. That's too much. We use too much resources, and we have to cut it if we really want to have a world democracy. If not, well,
we don't want a world democracy.
You will have rich people.
We want multiple countries to have democracies. We don't want a global democracy.
Yes, but then you have to accept the fact that we will have rich people here in Western countries with big armies and very poor people in the rest of the world.
You have to look at the trends globally of what capitalism has done for everyone. And this is not Africans. The third world is not suffering under capitalism. They're soaring.